Welcome back. You're watching CNN. I'm Brooke Baldwin. In this ongoing Boston Marathon bombing trial, today the jurors took a field trip. They actually went out to the secret warehouse housing that boat that suspect Jahar Tsarnaev used as a hideaway in Watertown until his arrest. This is also the very same bullet-riddled boat that had strips of blood streaking through penciled writings from Tsarnaev, what prosecutors ultimately labeled his manifesto. So these jurors spent 30 minutes inspecting the Slipaway 2. It sat lifted before them on this flatbed. The men and women stood on a raised platform so they could peer inside. Security was incredibly tight, as you can imagine, because with them was the 21-year-old suspect without handcuffs, no shackles, watching it with them as everything's unfolding.
Mr. Tsarnaev looked at the boat, flanked by 3 of his attorneys. He sat at a table with his attorneys, say about 50 feet away from the boat and the jurors. He looked impassive, as he has in court. He looked at the jurors, looking at the boat occasionally.
The jurors, 2 at a time, accompanied by an FBI agent, were lifted up in this cage so they could look into the boat on the port side. On the starboard side was that high, observation point so they could look into the boat.
When the field trip was over, testimony back at the courthouse returned to the massive manhunt that led authorities to Watertown. I was in Boston a year ago meeting with people who live in the area, who were there, who heard it, who will never forget it. This is what they remembered with me. You would never in a million years picture what happened here.
Could be anyone's neighborhood, could be any neighborhood anywhere.
Retired Sergeant Sean Murphy, a photographer with the Massachusetts State Police, saw the entire siege and witnessed the capture of one of the bombers. Walking around this quiet neighborhood just a year later, the tension still lingers.
In a sense, it seems like it was a year ago, and in another sense, it seems like it was just yesterday.
It started with the killing of MIT police officer Sean Collier, leading to a car chase into Watertown and a shootout, killing one suspect. Then a citywide search for his younger brother. The focus, the very heart of Watertown.
Chief DeVoe is advising all Watertown East End residents to remain in their homes.
It just filled up. There was like, I'd say 50 cop cars out here.
Yeah, the way they rolled in behind us, they were coming from both sides.
We were scared of every civilian that was walking down the street.
Abby Murphy, pregnant at the time, heard gunshots erupt outside her window.
You know, it's loud. Is it super close? Is it blocks away? Do I need to duck? And yeah, it's a scary thing. I think we were just trying to be really calm.
That was one of the tactical vehicles.
As Watertown hunkered down, Sean Murphy snapped photo after photo. What he captured through a lens would become one of the biggest takedowns of a wanted man in American history. It all led to this home after a tip about blood on a boat.
As soon as I took that image, I knew that this boat is very close, and I knew that really I needed to find cover.
SWAT teams risked their lives closing in on one of the men they believed was responsible, not knowing if the 19-year-old was armed or perhaps worse, strapped with explosives.
And all of a sudden, this guy came up.
What was that moment like, seeing him?
This was a very dangerous and active scene. It was good to know that this guy wasn't going to leave.
He didn't leave. Police ultimately pulled the suspect off the boat, pinning him to the ground, ending a massive manhunt. And for the first time in days, Boston could breathe. This was over at that point.
He's a dangerous guy. He had done a lot of dangerous things, and I think really at that point his eyes are wide open. I think he knows that his reign of terror was over.
Let's take you live to Boston now, outside that federal courthouse. My colleague, producer Aaron Cooper. Aaron, I mean, going back to this field trip here of the boat, seeing the more than 100 bullet holes and still these streaks of blood, how did the jurors react to that? And Tsarnaev standing right there.
I mean, we know that the jurors really were intently studying this boat. As you mentioned, they got up on lifts on either side of the boat so they could peer in and look at where the writing was, look at the debris in the bottom of the boat. The windshield of the boat had been shot out, so there was glass on the bottom of the boat. The blood stains that you see in those photos of his writings, those have faded actually some, but they were squinting and trying to look into the boat and see what they could see this area that Tsarnaev had been laying, hiding out when he was captured. And all this time, Tsarnaev, down on the ground, sitting under a tent with his attorneys or at a few points by himself, was watching it all as it went down.
Can I ask why they brought him along? Why was he part of this?
I mean, he's the defendant, so it's his right, obviously, to see any kind of court proceeding, and this was obviously a court proceeding that could be very relevant to the case.
Aaron Cooper, thank you so much in Boston, covering the trial. Coming up next here on CNN, Secretary of State John Kerry says the U.S.